Okay, for a change, I created again a .py file for you to understand. See, IPython notebook means we write like that in a cell by cell notation, whereas in a Python script means you write like a script, right? So every script we generally start with a shebang line, which is not mandatory, but in Linux it's needed. Just for you to be aware of and showing it. I'm just showing this. And in the next line, in any Python script, we write like in triple quotes. It's like a doc strings where you will write the purpose of the program. And again, this is also not mandatory, but pip8 recommends us to use it. So within that, what is the purpose of this program? We can write. So I want to work on something called as a absolute function. You see, among the built-in functions, 64 built-in functions, we already touch based on few of them. So earlier I showed you these are the built-in functions, 71. Among the 71 functions, by end of this chapter, we have touched at least 10 out of them. So the next function that we touch is absolute. Absolute. So this is like a small thing, but it will be more handy in real time sometimes. If you have a value which is either positive or negative, but if you just want positive value, that's where use absolute built-in function. Say, if I have a number called as, I am just printing like this. So absolute of 3, and I want to print it. So if I execute, I go to the terminal, new terminal. That is how we execute, right? So we need to go to the directory where we are. So 02 and like 01, and we execute it. I told, right, in Windows we have a big path. So to avoid that, you give a prompt hyphen, means the entire path will be replaced by a hyphen. Then our life is easy. So Python space, what other program is there? The file name, we execute. So it will execute and I can see it. The same thing I do in a terminal in a different way. My terminal, I did the settings to get in the other side. So don't think the other way. So if you want to clear the screen, which is unnecessary, right? And again, you want to run, you run like this. And every time if you want to clear the screen and run, CLS, and if you do like this, every time the existing screen will be cleared and it will run again. Now I got like one thing. If I give positive or even if I give negative, in both the cases, see here, +3 or -3, I got 3 only, right? Not only this, if I try the same thing with a, say, floating point values, even then I get the same thing. So negative floating points are positive floating point values. And one difference is when you apply the complex numbers, only in that case you get a square root of a square plus b square. If you do like that, you see here square root of a square plus b square, and you got the result. Square root of a square plus b square is 5. So 3 square plus 4 square means 25 square, which will be 5. You got 5. And similarly, if you want to practically prove that, because Python don't have a square root operator, so that's why we need to use a module called as math. So in Python, basic functionalities are there everywhere. If you want extra functionality, you need to import a module. Module is like a library. So if you want, importing means like loading. So if I use statement called as import math, we can import it. So if I, after importing, just I need to use that. So I told, right? So math dot square root of a square means which are is there plus b square. So like that, if I do, for square root, we have two ways. Sorry, power operation, there are two ways, right? Either a power built-in function or power operator also we can use. In both the ways we can execute. Did you got like 5 again lastly? So again, the same logic works in terms of PEMDAS. Everywhere I'm going, I'm telling you about the PEMDAS. Means like you do the, power operation first. So in PEMDAS, there is nothing like a, power operation. Exponent means power only, right? So like that, after parentheses, exponent, priority. So like that it works. Now we worked on one function. And the last thing, again, I want to switch back to IPython notebook. So I close this session and I open. Say this time, I want to touch base on this operator precedence, which we worked earlier. So if I go and give like operator precedence, instead of .py, I should say IPYNB. If I give, I get like this. So if someone is saying like, after creating an IPython notebook, you are not getting this kind of cells, means you didn't do the installation properly. You can just go to your, extensions, and you can add the Python extension. By default, the moment you write a IPYNB, it will do a recommendation. If not, you can type this Python, and the very first one is Microsoft supported. I told you, right? So the person who created Python, Gudavan Rusim, now he's part of Windows. So it means Microsoft. So he's contributing actively there, or he's at least helping them, or guiding them, sorry. So things will be good. So with Microsoft also, you can go with that. So as I told earlier about the operator precedence, what is the operator precedence? How things works. You remember I told you about this PEMDAS and this kind of operators and others, right? Let's work on them. To work on that, you can understand that, you see, operator precedence. In Python, execution happens from left to right and top to bottom. Hope you remember in C language when you came, so you might have heard, right? In C language, procedural oriented languages, how it works. So bottom to top, right? So whereas in Python, it works like this. So almost most languages work like this only, top to bottom, left to right. So like that. And PEMDAS, we have 3 kinds of braces and all these things. Just I want to let you know certain things so that you will understand better. If I have an operation like this, so it's very easy for you to understand. At the outset, there was a parenthesis here. So what are the content within it will execute first, and outside afterwards. And within it also, there were 3 operators, plus division, floor division is also there, and minus is also there. Which one happens first? So as per the things, first parenthesis, yes, we have chosen. Exponent, no. Multiplication, there is a multiplication. So this multiplication happens. Then like division happens. So within 2 divisions, which division will be prioritized? So I gave some assignments for you to better understand, but you can take it as a challenge and you can do a new one and prove me that. So among the division, floor division, and modulo means remainder operations, which one actually takes place first? That you need to help me. Say instead of just executing, I can assign to a variable and print also, or like I can just do operations. Python supports multiple relation operations, multiple operations. I do the division means first it will execute like 40/2, then 2. Why, sir? When 2 divisions are there, which one will be prioritized? So in the left to right, whichever is coming first, that will execute. That's the reason. So not only this, if we can do like crazy things. If I do like this, then obviously first 2, next 2, next 2, like that, the result and the other one. Okay, this is fine, sir. What if I have an operation like this? What if I have an operation like this? So there is a division and there is a floor division. Which one takes place first? So it is the result actually. I need to prove like which one took place first. I am assuming that, division takes place first. Then check by placing the braces around it and check the result. If the result is same, then fine. So with this, we can clearly say that, so division is prioritized prior compared to floor division, right? Similarly, for all other operators also, you can just walk through. Check what are the operators you have here, whichever you have worked till now. So modulo and all these things, power operations and others, and just evaluate. Okay. So this is an assignment. Next, going further into the string operations. So before winding up, any questions till now? Okay then. So if no questions, let's jump on to the string operations. We can have to an introduction and then we can jump on to it. Say initially I want to work, because it's a string operations, it would be better if I write. So initial program I'll write in a py. See, I am continuously using a mixture of .py files and IPython files, such that you will be understanding all these things. So first, a small IPython .py file. As you know, first line I write like shebang line. As I told, it's not mandatory, but it's a best practice. Then after that, I write in three triple double quotes, which are doc strings, where I will write the purpose of the program. Say I want to do the string operations. So what is that I want to say? You know, actually in Python, there are three ways of creating a strings. Python supports three ways of creating a strings, which is like single quotes, double quotes, and triple quotes. So using one single quotes and two double quotes and triple quotes. Triple double quotes. So what is that difference? How they work? I will show you that. So first, if I define any string, I can define that string in all single quotes. You know, like this I can define in single quotes, or I can define the same program, exactly same, but in double quotes. You know, the things are defined in double quotes. And similarly, the same thing I can define in triple quotes. You see, triple double quotes, right? So there are like, you know, there is one more thing, triple single quotes. And the same thing I can define in a triple double quotes. Did you observe the difference? I'm going to this directory 02, another 02, and I want to say like Python space a so and so. Did you see in all the four ways I did, the output is exactly same, right? There is no iota of difference. Did you all understand what I told? Any doubt till now? Yes?
No.
So fine. So like in these four ways you can create. But sir, which one is preferred in which case? What is the best practice? That's what you expect, right? So pip8 says that generally use single and double quotes for your ordinary strings. But pip8 says that use triple double quotes for doc strings only. So it would be, that's a best practice they have told, pip8. So we generally follow the same. So we also do that. So, okay, why they have told like that? So if you want to use, up to you. But coming to this single and double quotes, why they have told to use a particular things and which one is more preferred? So generally Python says that, you know, go with the single quotes, but nowadays to make other language also easy for communicating, so they are saying go with the double quotes. So if you go with like language like Go language, so double quotes is for like one way, single quotes is other thing, PowerShell is the other thing. So each language has its different conventions. To make the things easy, they are saying to go with the double quotes. But Python, as a saying, they came with a single quotes to use. Whenever you cannot use single quotes, go with a double quotes. That's what they told. This time I use a .ipynb file. If I go for ipynb, so I don't need this terminal anymore. I can write anything here. So let me take the example again. I take the same example which I took earlier. So I can write in a single quote, say, I can write the entire thing in a single quotes. It works and it will give the result. Similarly, like one more example, let me take. You say, how are you? How are you is a string. And also there was a question mark, right? It doesn't matter. Anything we can write within a quotes, right? That's fine. So then like if someone is giving a reply to you that, so you are saying Python programming, they're saying, how are you? And you can reply like, what's up? because within quotes you can write anything, right? So I tried to write like that. So then it threw an error. What is the reason for it? Within the quotes you can have anything except this quotes. What happened is that the moment a quote is encountered, instead of thinking the entire thing as a string, it will think only till here as a string. And it's saying whatever the remaining part. So to avoid this kind of problems, whenever you have a single quotes, use double quotes. That is the saying actually. Then you may say like, why can't you use a double quotes every time instead of just going for single quotes, right? That's up to you. So again, so in which case you need to go with a combination of these two means. That's again you need to see. You see, like this it works. And similarly, if you have a single and double quotes, see in this case, there were single quotes and single quotes, right? Multiple single quotes are there. If you have multiple single quotes, then the best way is going like this. So there is alternatively other way also. Say if you have multiple single quotes, okay, so you can do another way. You can place a slash for everything like this. Wherever you see anything, you place a slash. Means, hey, don't process it. Don't think it like a code character. It's like an ordinary character. So tell me, which one do you prefer among these two? So if you write double quote, that's a simple thing, right? So that's what mostly we prefer. But what if you have a double quotes and single quotes in your string? Then you can use a triple quotes. What they say is like, if whatever is not there, use that. So that would be very rare case to have a single, double, triple, single quotes. In that case, you can use triple, double quotes. So that is the way. So now you understood what is the standard and others. Hope it's clear. Now I will jump on to the multi-line strings. So what is this multi-line strings? How they can help us? So till now you understood about the strings and quotes, right? I told you, so if you want to write a string which is in multiple lines, say print, today is an awesome day. I want to do, say, to learn Python. So I have like this 2 lines.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, may I know who is this?
Who joined and asking me? Just a moment. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So if we have a string like this, so if it is in multi lines, then we cannot process it because Python processes 1 line at a time. In that scenario, hope you remember we have something called as line continuation operator. We can use that and it will execute. You see, today is an awesome day. So if you use single quotes or double quotes, you should use like this. Even if you use single quotes also, the same thing happens. The story is the same. You need to use the slash n every time when you have a multiple lines. But if you are using with it the triple quotes, say triple quotes. So for this triple quotes also, we can write like this. So triple quotes also, the same thing works. And similarly, for the triple quotes, if you don't write these slashes also, it will work. Because triple quotes are by default designed for this purpose. Triple double quotes or triple single quotes. If you have multi-line strings, you can go like a SQL statement if you have, and if you want to process it. So I can say like, SQL command is equal to, so I can write like this. So this is how I write. So select star from so column 1, column 2 from table, right? This is how my table. So I can have like a where condition. So name is equal to column 1 is equal to something. So don't you think like I wrote clearly? So this is what you need to understand. But like when you're writing this, so one special thing you need to be remembering is that, say, sometimes people don't forget to write this semicolon. So does it matter, sir? Means yes. So when you write like all like this, see what happened. If they read separately, then fine, it works. It will execute. But if the same thing was written without like this in braces, so it will think like it happened and it will throw in error. Hope it's clear till now. Any doubts till now for anyone? So is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So last thing we can start on into indexing and slicing, and we can close the session. So in the same lines, we can go with the next thing called as indexing. So IPYNB, again string indexing. So string operations, if you see, the very first thing you need to understand is, what is a string? Any number of characters which were combined together. So when you have a string, you need to be able to recognize each character individually. That's the most important thing. So if you see here, so I took the same old string, language equal to Python programming. So which is a string. Now, as I told earlier, so there are two things we can apply on any object. So functions also we can apply, and also attributes also we can apply, right? Functions means not all functions we can apply. Totally, how many functions are there? 71 built-in functions are there. But certain number of certain type of functions can be applied in some situations only. So there is a specific way. So don't get confused between functions and attributes. So one good function is print. Print is one function. Like that, there is one more function called as length. len is a built-in function for getting the length of the characters, number of characters in the string. You cannot apply the same thing for an integer. That's not possible. For strings we can do. Like that, few others we can do. I will show you afterwards shortly. So before even doing string operations, if you want to do operations on it, first you need to uniquely recognize each of them. So for that, you need to understand that, if I create a code block, string indexing is most important thing. Indexing means, let's say I have a word called as Python programming. Python programming means what? So there are these many characters. So first P, next Y, T, H, O, N, even a white space, next programming. Like this, everything is a character, right? And each character will be represented by a number starting from 0, say, because in Python, indexing starts from 0. This is the most important point you need to remember. So most of the languages like Python, C, Java, so Ruby, all these things follow the same. Only exception I remember is that, so Fortran and MATLAB, these are the only languages I remember having a indexing starting from 1. By default, almost all languages have indexing starting from 0. As indexing starting from 0, you can have 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Even a white space is a number, right? So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on like that. So this kind of indexing is called as forward indexing. This kind of indexing is called as forward indexing. Similarly, so for the same numbers, we can have an indexing in the reverse direction. So from -1 to this is starting. That is called as reverse indexing. So indexing you can have in the other side also. You can start from like this -1, -2, -3 in a reverse direction. So reverse, we don't start from -0 because 0 don't have a sign, right? So this is forward indexing and this is reverse indexing. To recognize any number individually, we need to have this one. So as I told you again and again, so this is what you need to remember. Indexing starts with 0 in Python. So based upon that, if you start, if I just print language, if I print language, I get it right. But if I say like language of 0, I get the 0th value. What is the 0th value? P. Similarly, if I say language of say some 7, what is the character at 7th position? P. So that's why you get P. Similarly, if I give language of say some 17, what is the character at 17th position? You got G. You got G, right? You will get G. If you want, right, we can copy the same thing and paste it down. Okay. You see now? And similarly, if I ask for say language of, what say, if I go beyond it, okay, if I say 18, as 18 is not there, it will throw in error. So you should ask only within the length only. Say in the same fashion, if I go for language of in the negative value, say -2, if I ask, what is the character at -2nd position? 9. So language of say, if I ask say -40, can someone say what is -40? -9, -10, -11, -12, -13, -14, which is O. You got it? Which is O. So like that, it will work on it. Okay. So this is how you recognize any character individually. So with this, I want to stop, and again tomorrow we can start again, resume from there. If you go to the repository, by default you will see main. So that is how in real production also happens. You should go to the specific branch. You should know that there are different branches, and you should go from the develop and pull the data from the develop. But as I push it to my branch, I should go to my branch to see my changes came or not. See, whatever I pushed 1 minute ago, I can see the changes, right? Now I need to give a pull request or a merge request. In GitHub and Bitbucket, you call pull request. In GitLab, you call as a merge request. So in the merge request section, I go and I can create a new merge request. Merge request from where? From my branch, Uday Prakash. To which branch I need to go? To the develop branch. Still, I want to make the main branch empty only. So, and I want to compare the branches. So what is the left side? This is the source, destination. So again, confirm here from Uday branch to develop branch. So every time be careful about this. So if you want to see the changes also, you can see here. And you can do the approvals. If you see changes here, go down and see the changes here. You see commits, how many commits I did, what are the different pipelines. Pipelines is something I will tell afterwards. And changes. In changes, it says deleted means this file was removed. Whenever you rename any file also, it will do like that only. So it is saying like deleted, and another file was added. That's what it's saying. So, and some changes. If just the file name change, folder name change, everything you will see there. And then finally, I give a create merge request and I merge it. So what is saying? Valid branch, another open request already in exist. So means already one merge request is there, which was open, which need to be closed. So you see whatever code I have updated, it is going to these two merge requests. I will approve them and merge them. So then fine. So merge. So I did it, I approved, but didn't merge. That's a problem you didn't see. If I merge them, all the code will go. Then you will see no more open pull requests. You see, there should not be any open pull requests. So now if I go to the repository and if I go under the develop, sorry, Uday Prakash, anyhow it will have. Similarly in the develop also, you see what are the code 4 minutes back gone, it is there. Now in your systems, you just need to do git pull origin develop. That's it. Hope it's clear. With this done. For the people, new people, so I will take your email IDs and attach. So the same thing you can find in the Google Drive, the things, and here also. Hope it's clear. Any other doubts? If not, I will stop here. Thank you all. Thank you all.
You. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Uday.